Landmine lateral raises. These are something that have become more popular recently. I've shared these multiple times and shared them a long time ago. But what I wanted to do today is take you through a more in-depth video of how to do them and slight different variations on how to do them, because I see a lot of people getting these wrong or kind of a lot of questions involved. So I'm going to be answering those questions as we go along. All right. So landmine lateral raises. This is everything you need to know. Let's start here. So one of the most common questions that I get is, I don't have a landmine unit, what do I do? Well, here's the easiest thing to do. You do not need a landmine at your gym to be able to do landmine exercises. You just need a plate on the floor and you just simply put your barbell in the center hole of the plate. Some people, from a safety perspective, also if you have a hex dumbbell, just place a dumbbell there just in case the bar slips out. But I have never, anytime I've set this up, I've never seen a bar slip out when there's actual load on it, or at least not one you can't control. So I don't tend to feel as though you need that, okay? So as you can see, I'll give you a quick demo now. You pick it up, the end of the bar is in, and you can very easily do any landmine exercise you want to with that bar staying in that setup. So that's question one. How do you set up a landmine without having a landmine unit? There you go. Okay, now we've got that out of the way, I'm just going to show you how to perform the landmine lateral raise. So what you want is that landmine unit or your hand to start directly in the midline of your body, all right? You're directly in line with that bar itself and kind of facing away. All right, from there, slightly soft in the elbows, and you're raising that bar to 3/4 of the way. Now that's really important. You're not overextending all the way back. You're going to be losing a lot of tension. And that's one of the most common questions I get is, well, I lose tension when I come all the way to the top. Well, don't go all the way to the top. Okay, you don't need to be coming all the way to the top. All right, so we're here to about 3/4, which is about there. Okay, if you go here, you've basically just lost it and it just becomes a bit of a stretch, all right? So you're there, 3/4, all the way back down to the start. And as you can see, it stays down the midline of my body. So I'm almost kind of covering my crotch with the palm of my hand. So it's here, strict to here, okay? So that's what they should look like. They shouldn't look like these kind of swingy motions here, okay? And they shouldn't kind of look like these weird angled kind of movements that I've been seeing a lot of as well. Now, I'm fully aware that using the bar is a challenge, all right? Anytime you lift a landmine, you're obviously not lifting 20 kgs, 45 pounds, okay? Because of obviously leverage, it's a little bit lighter. Once I actually measured using, I think I used like suitcase travel scales, what the weight was of a landmine at the top versus at the bottom. And I think it was something like 9 kilos at the bottom and like 8 at the top, something like that. It's almost irrelevant what it is, regardless, it's hard, okay? Or at least it's harder than what most people can lateral raise with. Now, although this is something, it's not really a lateral raise, it's kind of between a front raise and a lateral raise, a lot of people will still struggle. So how can we make things easier? Well, you've got a couple of options. Option number one is to step in a little bit, okay? So you can hold slightly further down the bar, change those leverage factors. Still, again, your palm is down the midline of your body and you can raise to here, okay? Now, personally, I don't like that, okay? It just doesn't feel right. But it is an option, and as I always say, I'm going to share you options. I'm going to give you more tools in your toolbox so that you have the option to try them, and if they work well for you, great. If they don't, then you've got other options available, and I'm going to show you what I prefer to do. So all you need to do is grab a shorter bar and go from a kneeling position. I'm first off going to show you with, I really like this stubby bar, this thick stubby bar. It's shorter, I think it's about 9 kgs. Obviously lighter than that because of obviously it's a landmine unit, but go from a kneeling position because it's shorter, it will just feel a lot better, okay? So kneeling there, you can go half kneeling, I prefer like a tall kneeling, hand in the midline of your body, and you raise 3/4 of the way up, back down to that start point, okay? So you can use a short stubby bar like that, or most gyms have an easy bar, even shorter, tend to be even easier. So you're here, again, palm midline of your body, making sure you're at the right angle, raise, 3/4, and repeat, okay? So most will be able to use an easy bar for these as option one. Obviously, if you've got a landmine unit, put it in the landmine unit. It's a little bit more secure, although as I said, you've got the option of just using a plate on the floor if you don't have the landmine unit. Most people should be able to use a kneeling version with the easy bar and then progress over time. So you can add small plates on the end. So let's say that's got a little bit easy. So then I could just grab a plate, put it on the end, and I've got a little bit of progressive overload with that one. And then that 2.5 kg plate might become a 5 kg plate. Once you've mastered a 5 kg plate, you might then be able to go onto the standing variation with a full length 20 kg Olympic bar. So you've got your progression there, you've got your modifications there, you've got how to set up your landmine if you don't have access to landmine, and hopefully you've got all your questions answered. If you do have any extra questions, obviously drop them below in the YouTube video. As always, make sure you like and subscribe to the video and let me know if videos like these are useful.